welcome back to the Smeef Show. This is episode 32. Yeah, 32, I think. Hello, my baby boy. Honestly, this is one of the sexiest voices I've ever heard. Speak up, my baby boy. Come on.
Oh, hello.
I'm
So
just,
this
I'm
is
just saying, if I had a vagina, it'd be so wet right now.
bruh,
I'm just
bruh.
saying. I'm just saying. I forget how to.
So,
I'm sorry if I butcher your name constantly. I've always pronounced it as Telepaturtle.
well, there's really no wrong way to pronounce it, but usually I hear it either as just tele or teleporte. Those are
Teleporte?
the
Is
more
that how you?
common.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it.
Teleporte. I thought it like because like when the fucking like Tay comes in, I'm just thinking about turtle.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I'm actually
yeah,
getting a
because
turtle though. I'm getting a turtle and I'm gonna name him Name.
you're gonna name your turtle name.
Yeah, Name. I'm so quirky like that. I'm so awesome and quirky like that.
Okay.
Okay, if you guys don't know who
Uh,
Teleporte is then you're missing out. This guy, this guy is like one of the most ambitious dudes I've ever seen. Like literally, like he makes an animation every single fucking day. How do you even do that, dude?
well, I start animating and then I make an animation and then I post it and I do this every day.
I know, but I mean, how do you have the fucking drive for that? Well, that's a fucking. I mean, I that's just such a bare bones answer. God damn, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, what's your
Okay.
fucking process? Like, go into. I want to hear, cause like, I'll put a thing of his animation on screen. You do this every single fucking day. How the fuck do you have the drive to do that? I know there's some days where you feel
Oh,
off, like I see that on Twitter, but every single day, dude, I don't think anybody has ever done that before.
so for the drive thing, how do I get the drive? It used to be that I would have like a collection of positive and negative motivations that would keep me going forwards. Like, say, for example, I would say one of my negative motivations would be I don't want to be homeless. So I would try to work as hard as I could so that I just wouldn't end up homeless. And a positive motivation would be something like I want to get lots of likes, I want to get lots of recognition and approval for the kind of work that I do, and I wanted to impress the people that I look up to.
Impress the
And
ladies. Impress all the chicks. I see you, man. I see. Even though
that was one
animation
of the other ones too,
was it
actually.
actually? Because that's super. Listen, I'm
I was
not
like,
saying I'm not saying
man,
animation is gonna get the panties wet, but I'm just saying doing that every day is gonna see some drive, and they're gonna fucking suck on your little cock.
dude, I was like, man, if I get really good at animation, then I'll finally get myself a beautiful girlfriend. And then I realized that it's just such a stupid thing to expect. It's a dumb
I
expectation.
mean, not really. I
Uh,
mean, like once you're determined about something, that's really attractive. Plus, you have the voice for it. Like I said,
it's all in the microphone. All in the
you know what?
microphone.
It's all in your head that you don't think so. I think so, my baby boy. And I'm not just saying that to suck up to you. I'm just saying that because you have a sexy voice.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the motivation thing. Like these days, it's not so much what drives me forwards anymore. It's more of a case of habit at this point. It's just you get up, you do your thing, you start drawing and you start animating, or you play some video games and you just animate at the end of the day and then you get things done
So it's kind of
and
like
you
a
just
full
post
time
that.
job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair,
Because I don't
yeah.
actually have a job or any occupation, so I just go for animation and
Okay, be honest with me.
treat
Have
it
you got
as a
any
full-time
Have you
job.
got any offers from studios yet to go like actually get a job?
Yes,
And you
I
declined a lot
have
of them?
gotten. I've declined all of them, all commissions, all job offers. I've declined them to do my challenge of doing a daily animation.
Jeez, that what? Like I don't understand that. Like is it just like a self motivation thing? Is it just like you want to like say to yourself that you want to do this and you're very like adamant about it? Is it just that? Because I wouldn't pass up offers like that, dude.
Two reasons. First, or actually no, three reasons and a rationalization. First reason is because it's a lot of work and mental effort to actually take on a new job. The second reason is I want to show dedication to the actual challenge that I'm setting for myself. And the third reason slash rationalization is that if it's really a good job and a good studio, they'll respect that and they'll wait for me next year.
That's actually a really good way to look at it. Can you say which studio offered you a job, or is that kind of taboo?
Uh, I think it should be okay. So there's a studio called Studio Yota. They did offer me a job, but I turned that down, saying that I was gonna be too busy
That's fair.
with with my own thing. And
I,
just a multitude of commission offers or people asking if I do commissions, which is basically
dude,
freelancing.
you'd make fucking bank off commissions. You should do them, but like I understand morals and like your own sort of like drive and stuff like that. But I'm just saying you could make a fuck ton of money. Even I offered you some shit to do something for me, and then you were like, maybe too busy, maybe in a year or so. And I'm like, yeah, I could wait a year. But like you have such an amazing drive, and I respect that so fucking much. From another creator to another creator, for me, you are one of my big influences.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to hear that.
Yes, a sweet, sweet little boy, my little baby boy. Little bit. Okay, I have something to talk about. Are you a big Scott Pilgrim fan?
I've only heard the name. I'm actually not really sure what it is.
It's just a comic book series, and there's a movie, and then there's a video game for it. I am a huge fucking fan, dude. You should do your homework on it because I feel like you would genuinely love it. Like I have the whole color book series here, and it's amazing. I think like last week they announced that the game is getting re-released into like store shelves and stuff like that on online stores in the complete edition. I just wanted to mention that
Oh,
because I've been like fucking fanboying over that. The day that happened, I started crying because that's my favorite game of all time. And the reason why I cried is because they took it off of like the e-store or whatever, or like the PlayStation store or the Xbox arcade store in 2014. So I couldn't I wasn't able to play that game for like 6 years.
yo, I'm looking at some of the art that they have, and man, I think I have seen this before.
You need to read it, dude. I feel like you would love it. I feel like you would love it. As it even in an artistic standpoint, it's so simple, but it's so complex. Yet it just keeps diving you in. Like it's not like people say like it's a love story, and there's kind of sus things about it. But how I like to picture the story is like moving on. You know what I mean? Like becoming a better person. It's like more of a redemption story rather than a love story. I feel. Because the main
Mhm.
character is a super shitty person. Like I'm gonna be real with you, he's like one of the worst people. But then he forms himself and morphs himself into something that is more beautiful and more dignified.
Let me take a look through this.
Of course, you
The
might have
art
heard
style.
you might have heard like Brian Lee O'Malley, right? That name up in the art community.
Actually, I have not. You see, I kind of live under a rock because my
Where do you
social
even
skills
stay?
are. Well, I stay in Colombia, South America, and well, my social skills aren't particularly stellar, so or my networking skills in general just are kind of poopy. So I just opted for trying to do as much work as I could and letting that speak for itself instead of trying to get around, getting to know people and talking with the right people.
That's fair, but
And I just
networking is a big thing when it comes into the business that you're
oh
trying to
yeah,
get into.
absolutely.
You need to study up on that. Like even like it's just as important as any. I'm gonna be real with you. Networking in like a business of like whenever you're going into something, it's always business. It's always business because you're selling yourself. You know what I mean? You're not selling you're not selling your art. You're selling yourself more or less because you're always gonna be
Mm,
selling yourself in that aspect. So
I
you
kind
need
of
to
want to.
have you need to have like the social skills to talk and be like yeah, and the charisma in order to get on people's good sides and shit like that. Your art could be like the fucking best in the world. Like it is. Yours is like one of the best I've ever seen, alongside one of my favorite artists known as Yakpu. You know who Yakpu is?
Nope. like I
I'll
mentioned.
link you. I'll link you him later. But yeah, he's done a lot of art for me, and like he has like stellar social skills and stuff like that. But it's not there yet, so he can't get like offers and shit like that. But like, dude, I feel like you have like it genuinely. The only
I
thing you need to
remember,
now is work on your like negotiating and stuff like that, and free up a little bit more time on your schedule to actually do like big projects like that.
yeah, I remember there's like a triad or a triangle of necessary skills to have as an artist or a freelancer. And the first one is obviously you got to know how to do the craft to know how to like actually make things properly. The second one is like the networking skills, and the third one is being able to meet deadlines. And
Which
if you
you,
can do two of these, you can land a job.
yeah, well, of course, of course.
So
But if you want to land a good job, you kind of have the need to have the necessary social skills to do that.
yeah,
You need all three to
that's
land
the
like
thing
a real.
though. Like
But yeah, I guess so. You don't need like a really good job as long as you love your craft and stuff like that. Then
yeah, because if you want a good job, you're kind of like you need different what's it called conditions to fill for you to actually have a job that you would say is good, and that varies from person to person. And for me personally, I'm actually not that interested in the idea of getting a whole lot of money. I just need enough to live, and so I can create the stuff that I want to create. And in that regard, I've already fulfilled that. So from here, it's just make the stuff that I want to make.
that's fair,
And if there's
and that's very admirable. I love that.
if there's a job that or a studio that might be working on a series that I really really like maybe say Ankama Studios from France or something from France, where I would have the opportunity to work with really skilled artists, then I would definitely want to take that up. Not for the money, but for the actual challenge and
And
for
the
the positive
experience.
environment. Yeah,
That is very
but that's
respectable.
probably for the future.
Like how did you acquire this skill, just building it up throughout like your childhood or whatever? Because that doesn't come out just through your teenage years. You have to be working on that like all your life in order to have the resilience and stuff like that to actually put your mind to it and just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it doesn't take a whole lot of work to get to an intermediate level. And a lot of people who have gotten to an intermediate level have built that up on and off throughout their whole life, right? So they like start at the age of 7 or 10, just doodling and drawing the things that they think look cool. And then they'll just like draw sometimes, maybe once or twice a week, or maybe even less than that. And by the time they reach to the age of 15 or something, they say, oh man, I really love this. Uh, then they might go ahead and say, okay, let me take this seriously. I went through a similar thing where I started animation at the age of like 10 to do stick figures and stuff. So I would animate stick figures in Pivot. And then I got to a point where I could move things really well, but I couldn't draw. So I couldn't actually make the animations that I wanted to make because, well, how are you going to animate what you can't draw? So I stopped animating and I started to draw instead. And this was like from 2013 to 2015 that I was just drawing occasionally. And on the year of 2016, the 20th of January that year, I decided that I would start to draw every single day, and I wouldn't miss a single day since then. And I haven't. I've been drawing every day for 4 years. And
Holy
just this
fuck.
year, I thought, like, if I can draw every day, then what is the difference if I make those drawings into an animation and I animate every day? And so I just sort of like made my debut on the internet as well. Here's the talent and the skills that I've been cultivating over the last 4 years.
And you fucking
Uh,
exploded, dude. Like over the last year, how much did you gain? Like like at the start of the year, what did you start at, and then at the
Start of the
end?
year, I
Yeah.
was at 14,300 followers. because I had a little bit of a following growing from before that, but did not expect it at all for it to just explode up to 250.
That is, I'm gonna be real with you. That is really fucking. That's insane. That's Imagine having those numbers on YouTube. That would
Hmm.
if you put like a do you upload to YouTube? You could put like compilations of your like animations on YouTube and stuff like that, and that'd be
I am planning to do that, yeah, to compile all the animations that I did this year. Because, okay, so the story behind me actually wanting to do this daily animations is because in 2018 and 2019, I did Inktober, but instead of just doing ink drawings, I would do animations. So I did an animation every day for a month. And in 2019, I did that. And then I compiled it into a single video, or I had a friend compile it into a single video. And the title of the video that he chose was 1 Month of Teleporte. And I thought, man, that's really cool. And the people really liked that. What if I go ahead and make a sequel to that called 1 Year of Teleporte? And so now that's what I'm working on.
and then once you're done that, 1 decade of Telepurte.
Oh, God, I don't think I
Yeah,
can
you
manage
cannot do that, and no one has that. No one has that. But this brings another topic. I mentioned this before in DMs with you, but how do you feel? Like I go on TikTok and I just see your animations on my For You page and people just repost it and get thousands of likes. I'd be fucking pissed. I'm just gonna be real with you. That pissed me off too. I DM'd them and then I mentioned you in the comments like, hey, this is my buddy's animation. You should probably take this off. And there was a bunch of comments like that, and then no one did shit. No one was like he just went on and he was like replying shit like, no, I'm not deleting it. I'm like, ugh. How do you feel about that? That seems fucking shitty. I know you said you stopped caring, but like, well, you do care, but like, you just stop bothering because it's gonna happen. But I'd be still fucking pissed, dude.
I try to look at it positively. Like, the more people that get to see my artwork, the better. And that actually makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah,
And if people want to take it, if they want to share it, if they want to show their friends, or if they want to take credit or whatever for showing good animation, people know who made it. And, well, at the end of the day, honesty and the truth prevails. So I'm not really worried
that's
about
fair. It's a good way to
anything.
look at it.
And, like, what's the worst that could happen, right? Everyone thinks that they're the ones that made the animation and that I'm a fraud. They get a bunch of commissions and job offers. They don't have the skill to actually pull those things off. They're a shamble, or their lies fall into shambles, and they ruin themselves by doing this kind of thing if it gets to a bad point. And at the end of the day, I'm the one that's able to do it. And I will do it. And I'll continue making animations whether they steal it or not. So it really doesn't matter that much.
That's fair. I really like that response. That's really dignified. Dude, I've been so like fucking like so adamant about losing weight. I don't know if you've seen it, but I lost like
Yeah, I have seen that. I've been seeing your battle, and I commend you for that, dude. Like,
dude, I
actually,
lost
two props.
13 pounds in like 2 weeks.
Damn.
I am so
How are you
happy
doing
about
that?
it. I'm just calorie counting and just like taking 10,000 steps a day.
Damn.
Doing what I do, just doing what I do, running errands, doing that shit, just walking around, taking the bus. It's so
Yeah.
scary. Dude, like 2 weeks ago, I seen a drunk lady like puke up on herself on the bus and I just filmed her. I think I'll put it on screen. I don't know if I have it anymore. If I don't, it'll just be a
Right.
picture of a monkey. But I just like it was so sad because like she was just stumbling around on the bus and she fucking fell over. I only have the video of her puking, but it was just so sad. And they tried to bum the
Damn.
smoke off me, and it was so funny. And then I got off my bus and I went to go eat pizza with my friend.
Hmm. You never know what another person's going through.
Where do you even do you live in like a city or do you live in like a fucking like where do
I
you?
do live in a city. Yeah. It's a pretty big city, but I barely ever go outside, so I don't
I
get
mean
the
now
opportunity.
I mean now you'd barely go outside.
Well, yeah. If I'm honest, like the quarantine and COVID actually didn't change my plans for the year. I was planning to stay inside all year anyway because of the animation.
I mean,
I
that's
was saying
fair.
I'm barely gonna get any time to go outside with the work that I have. Sometimes I do for like a break, or I'll go to the park and like breathe some good air, some tree air, oxygen, whatever
I
it's
mean, how
called.
do you get like? Do you live alone or do you live with your parents or whatever?
At the moment, I live with my parents, but I'm planning on moving out pretty
I
soon.
literally
'Cause-
just moved out. I moved out like 2 months ago, and
Mm.
I'm in university, and it's so hard to juggle YouTube and university. Like I've been slacking on YouTube because my move has been like super crazy. I don't know. I think being independent is worse than living with your parents because you have all these responsibilities. I'm gonna be real with you. If I could have lived in the city with living with my parents, just chilling, kicking back, jerking off, watching some fucking nice movies, then I would do that. It'd give me so much more time to work. But now I have to pay bills. I have to go get fucking groceries. I have to do all this
Mhm.
shit. Man, I just want to go watch some fucking. Some, I just want to watch some fucking brazers in my room and like smoke weed and listen to music. But nah, it's nice. I'm glad I have the independence that I like have now.
Yeah,
But at
because
the
like
same
even
time,
though
yeah,
all these responsibilities are exhausting, right? Like these obligations that you have to actually stay alive and be responsible are actually really fulfilling to uphold and upkeep, right?
I'm very
And
proud of
sometimes,
myself though. Yeah,
yeah, you should feel very proud about yourself for doing that. And you can sometimes end up feeling a little bit choked or cheated out of these kinds of things, like when you're living with your parents, because you're just not allowed, or sometimes you're just not allowed to be yourself or manage your own things, manage your own resources, and figure things out by yourself. And I think in both cases, you should appreciate what you have. If you're living with your parents, you should appreciate that you have the support and the love of people that are looking after you and that care about you and support you.
yeah, of
And when you're
course.
living alone, yeah, just also appreciate everything that you can about living alone.
Yeah, like the
Uh,
independence is amazing, dude. But like the first week I was staying alone. One night my parents called me 12 times. Like I think it was more than that. And they texted me 37 times. They're like, Darian, Ian, are you awake? Wake up, baby, wake up. You're pissing me off. Jeez. And I'm like, calm the fuck down. Like I literally called them and been I was so pissed off. I was asleep. Like you imagine putting that much pressure on yourself, on the putting people putting so much fucking pressure on you that you have to text them every night. I mean, I get it; they're worried about me, but at the same time, like, let me have some goddamn independence. I was sleeping, dog. That's all I was doing, and
yeah.
it was sweet. I appreciated the gesture, but it just felt so overwhelming. You ever get that with your parents where it just feels like super like overwhelming? I don't know if this applies to you, but like just like really big expectations that you can't uphold like a lot of the time.
Mm, sometimes, but I would talk with them about it and then we would come to an agreement. Like, for example, my mother always wanted me to study in a university, right? And she would have this pressure that you should study in a university, you have to study to be successful in life, right? And I was just listening to the advice of people who are in the industry, right? And a lot of them, if not all of them, are saying that the degree that you get from university doesn't matter. They don't actually use that, or they don't look at that when you're getting hired. They
I
look at
think
your
yeah,
portfolio.
the
A lot
portfolio,
of the
that's what I'm
things,
trying to do too
yeah.
cuz like I'm going into film and stuff like that. I'm going to be a screenwriter and they're just going to look at my portfolio and stuff that I've written and like worked on and directed. They're not going to look at my goddamn fucking college degree or some shit because that doesn't fucking matter. It's all about the skills and the creativity that you have to actually make something.
Mhm. And there's also like the case of I lost my train of thought. Oh, right, that university in terms of art schools don't actually teach you that much, and that a lot of the things that they teach you, you could learn by yourself using the resource of the internet.
Did you actually go to
So,
art school?
no, I never went to art school.
That's surprising
And
because yours is just like professional level and you haven't been qualified for that.
yeah, I haven't been educated for that. And I'm not the only one, right? Like, there's actually hundreds, maybe thousands, tens of thousands of artists who are working in the industry who never went through any formal education and they just taught themselves and learned any way that they could to become the level that they are. And it worked out for them. So I just thought, man, I don't want to get into debt. I don't want to have to pay off this thing just to learn what I could learn already as it is. And so, yeah, I did, but that always got like the concern of my mother because she's very traditional when it comes to like education.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's how my parents are too. But like, do they like push you into going into a different profession? Like, or did they always know that you had it when you went into art or whatever?
Mm,
I
my
I would
dad
say at
was
first
very
they weren't
supportive.
very like I would think at first they weren't very gung ho about it, but then when they actually seen your skill and like finesse with it,
Yeah,
they were like, yeah,
yeah, that's about it. I remember back in like 2015, 2014, my mother was like scouting out what I'm able to do and seeing what I'm interested in. She's like, "Oh, would you be interested in like I don't know, becoming a vet or something?" I don't remember exactly what she was offering, but she was like throwing ideas around and giving me like options of what I could do. So that was good in a way. But yeah, in the end, I eventually just ended up choosing to become an artist and let that become my path because I'm a creative person, and if I were doing anything that was not art, I would probably find myself either depressed, unfulfilled, or just not happy, stuck in a booth all day, just not doing what I want to do. Uh,
that's totally
it's just,
fair. I totally get that. It's more or less the craft that makes you happy and like pleasing.
yeah,
When you do stuff, when you do like content creating and like doing all this stuff, it's not about the audience. It's not about everything like that. It's about creating what makes you happy the most. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the most important fundamental thing. Those things come second. Of course, you look after that and that aspect of your like I like scouting or like putting it out there. But if you're not truly happy with it, then you're gonna have second thoughts and you're gonna like judge yourself and be like, is this really for me? Is this really? Because that's how it was with YouTube and writing and stuff like that. But then I really loved
Yeah,
what I created. Then I was happy.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
There's a lot to think about, really. It's a lot more complex than you could really think or explain in just a couple sentences.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. What's your biggest inspiration, like movie wise, for like your animations and such?
Uh, in terms of movies, I actually didn't watch a whole lot of movies, but some movies that I can name off the top of my head as highly inspirational was How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, and Bambi. Bambi 2, the second
Bambi,
one.
Bambi, really, Bambi?
Yeah,
Why Bam?
like the
Why
animation.
Bambi too?
Well, it was one
I'm
of
not
the
trying
movies
to
that I
make
watched
fun of
when I
you,
was
but just Bambi too. It just seems like an odd choice for an animation like thing.
because the backgrounds were really beautiful. The animation was really smooth. Talking Animals has a strange appeal about it. What other things? All the story was heartwarming, and yeah, that's what I can say about that one. Oh, Tarzan was another big one.
That one's understandable because that has a lot to do with anatomy in that movie.
Yeah, and
Like that
same
like.
thing. The music in that actually so lit.
Listen,
The animation
I'm
was
not
really
I'm not
smooth.
trying to I'm not trying to interrupt you, but the music in Tarzan, like literally, that's a bop. Nothing will Nothing will ever beat Over the Hedges, like soundtrack, like a cartoon soundtrack, because that shit's
Oh, Over the Hedge is another one, dude.
dude. Over the Hedges soundtrack goes hard. I'm just gonna be real with you. If I would listen,
Surf's Up.
Surf's Up, I love Surf's Up too, but Over the Hedges soundtrack, literally. If I had the choice to be, if I had a choice between my favorite song and the Over the Hedge soundtrack to lose my virginity to, it's the Over the Hedge soundtrack.
A strange condition, yeah. But yeah, these movies generally are things that like got me motivated for a couple months, and then like the inspiration died out, but you still have like the fun memory and the the progress that you gained from that. But I would say my biggest inspirations are not from movies, but rather from video games.
Really?
Like for example, a lot of the what inspired me was from a video game called Wakfu and its older predecessor, Dofus, which was a game made by a French studio, Ankama, the one that I mentioned earlier. Uh, and the artwork that was in that game and those games is actually just something that really blew my mind and something that just left a mark on me. So I later figured out that the main guy that did the art style
Wait,
and directed
isn't
the
like
art.
Wakfu isn't that like a TV show too on Netflix or something?
Yeah, it is. It is a TV show. Uh, but the main director, the art director, I found out was his name was Xavier Hussein, and I generally say that he's probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to my art style. But there are a number of other people that I can't name off the top of my head.
I mean that's fair. Like when I
Oh, yeah. Back on like what inspires me and video games. League of Legends was another big one.
come on,
Just
dude, no.
for
Dude,
the
men that play
yeah,
like people that play League of Legends sniff glue and like want to have sex with their sister. I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do, but just some dudes I've met that played League of Legends just want to like just are so weird.
yeah, you can find different strange kind of people everywhere you go. But I'm not really focusing on that or mentioning that. Rather, I am mentioning the artwork that is in League of
Oh
Legends
yeah, it is. It
and
is stellar artwork. I'm just like the actual
stuff
people.
that Riot makes in general, like the cinematics and these kinds of things.
I know what you're talking about. What was that? Giants? That music video for Giants? Have you seen that?
Hmm. Yeah,
That is one of
all
the
of
best fucking animated sequences I have ever
Riot,
seen.
KDA, all of that actually stellar, so fantastic. I don't, I cannot stress how inspirational all of that is and how much anyone could be missing out if they're just not watching that, if they're not into that, just because, ooh, League of Legends.
Fair. I
You
don't like
gotta,
League of Legends, but the music videos and the cinematics they have for all of it, it's just wonderful. It's one of the best ever like video game commercials like ever. I'm just gonna be real with you.
yeah.
Even the best commercial like ever. I'm just gonna be real. That
And
was
same
a
thing I said for like Blizzard and World of Warcraft, like the cinematics there, also very good.
yeah. Even the one recently with like Valorant or whatever. Did you see that one?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was so fucking good. Listen, Valorant had such a big start as a video game. Like it had one of the most hypes of all time I've ever seen. Like the way they went with marketing it, like dropping it through what was it? Like Twitch drops. That was amazing. That was amazing. But then the player base just dipped because of the fucking anti-cheat and I really hated that.
Mm, uh, I think still lots of people play it. I still play it.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
like
fun game.
Valorant too, but it's just like the player base dipped because of like poor management and stuff like that. Because like a lot of my
Mm.
friends installed it just because of the anti-cheat. It was fucking up their computers or whatever.
I can't really say much about it because I don't know anything about it, so I just won't.
Yeah, that's fair. But like another game that has a lot of good like cinematics is Fortnite. I know a lot of people got like give like fucking flack for
Oh,
Fortnite.
yeah, Fortnite actually like I know it's cheeky and it makes you smile and it's one of those things that make you say, "I can't believe I'm enjoying this."
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
cinematics of Fortnite are also really good.
I
I can't
really
say,
like it.
yeah, I can't say that I've gotten inspired by them because, well, they're fairly new. Uh, but League of Legends has been around for a long time, and a lot of the cinematics are like from years back, from 2014 kind of thing.
Wait,
When
this
I
is
was,
gonna be my last topic. But have you ever had that like that online game that you played religiously? Not like a kids game when you were smaller. Like I had Habbo Hotel and Moshi Monsters.
hmm,
Did you have like Club Penguin or something like that, or like Webkins?
not really. I did play a little bit of Club Penguin, but it was like, what, for maybe 2 or 3 days on a weekend or something like that, and just to see what it's all about, and that's it.
There was one that
That
I
was like back
really
in
loved.
2009 kind of thing, like long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, but there's one I really loved called Monkey Quest.
Monkey Quest. I have
Monkey
not.
Quest. It was like an MMORPG for like monkeys. It was a Nickelodeon thing. It was so good. But then it got taken down. Or Family Guy Online. I used to play that shit all the time.
It does have a very charming name to it.
Yeah, Monkey Quest.
Monkey.
Actually, one more thing. Are there any like animation studios that you really hate? No, not like studios, but like animated TV shows or whatever that you like hate with a burning passion just because of the lazy art styles and stuff like that?
Mm, well, the thing is, I can't actually think of any because if I don't like it, I just don't watch it and I don't remember it.
I mean, one that just stuck out that you watched an episode and you're like, this is bad. For me, it was like a new like Netflix show called Hoops. I really hated that, like so much.
Hmm. Can't say I know of any. I don't watch stuff because it feels like. Sorry, there's noise outside.
What the fuck is going on?
Anyway, so the reason I don't watch stuff is because it just feels like a huge waste of time to just sit in front of a screen without doing anything with your hands and watching something and just like receiving information without giving out information. It just feels like I'm not doing anything and I get anxious.
Yeah, I totally get that, but like, there's sometimes good to take a break and like just study for a little bit. Even like
Yeah,
people don't realize, but like watching TV or like playing video games is studying because you're like analyzing what is there. At least for your
yeah, but
type of people.
there's like a difference between watching something and playing something. Because watching, you're just sitting there and you're not doing anything. You're just watching it, right? And that's good. That's fine. And just I can't do it myself. But playing a video game is you're interacting with something, and it's interesting. It's cool. It's fun.
You know, it's so funny. Look. You seem so fucking professional just with the way you talk, but I know you're just like a normal dude. Do you ever give
I
off that
really am.
vibe?
Yeah, I really am just pretty normal.
Yeah. But we're nearing the end of the episode, and I'm gonna thank you for coming on. I wanted to talk to you about a lot of all that stuff, and I think we got it all down.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that.
Your voice is still really sexy, dude. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Thank you.
Ooh.
All in the microphone.
It's not all in the microphone. I think it's just your voice, dude. Dude, cough for me. Cough for me. No, don't actually. No, but yeah, I'm Smeef, and I'll see you later. Wait,
Alrighty.
Is there anything you wanna plug first?
Not really. If you know or if you're here, you probably know about my Twitter, and yeah, that's all I actually post on. Nothing else.
That's fair. You know what? You could post on me. I'm just saying.
I could what?
You could post on me, or like taught me or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's just an idea.
Oh. on, on what?
Nothing. Okay. Goodbye. That was a Smeef show. Goodbye.